Have you ever noticed that two people can go through the exact same situation, yet experience it completely different? One person sees a setback and loses hope. Another person sees the same setback and somehow finds strength, patience, and even gratitude. What's the difference? Often, it's perspective. And today, I want to talk about why perspective matters, especially when we are facing trials in life. Because, let's be honest, life doesn't always go the way we planned. Sometimes we pray for something and the answer doesn't come when we want it. Sometimes opportunities disappear. Sometimes people disappoint us. Sometimes we are struggling silently while everyone else seems to be moving forward. And in those moments, it's easy to ask, why is this happening to me? But what if the better question is, how should I see what is happening to me? I recently talked about the law of attraction from an Islamic perspective. And one thing I mentioned is that Islam doesn't teach us to trust the universe, my sister. Islam teaches us to trust Allah, right? But trusting Allah isn't only about believing He can change our circumstances. It's also about believing that there is wisdom in our circumstances, even when we don't understand it yet. And that's where perspective becomes powerful. Think about the story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Imagine being thrown into a well by your own brothers. Imagine being sold into slavery. Imagine being imprisoned for something you didn't do. If you were living through those moments, would you see them as blessing? Probably not. They would look like disaster. But when we read the full story, we see something different, right? Every hardship was preparing him for something greater. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. What looked like loss was actually preparation. What looked like the end of the story was only the beginning. Subhanallah. How often do we judge our life based on one chapter when Allah sees the entire book? And I think many of us do this. We look at a closed door and assume it's a punishment. We face a hardship and assume nothing good can come from it. But years later, we sometimes look back and realize, if that had not happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. Have you ever experienced that? Something you once cried over eventually become one of the best things that ever happened to you. That's the power of perspective. Now, having a positive perspective doesn't mean pretending everything is okay. No. Islam doesn't tell us to deny our pain. Even the prophets experienced sadness, grief, and hardship. Crying doesn't mean you are weak. Feeling hurt doesn't mean your faith is broken. What matters is that even in the middle of the pain, we remember who is in control. Allah. And when we remember that, we stop seeing our trial as meaningless. Because nothing Allah allows into our lives is meaningless. Every trial carries a lesson. Every delay carries wisdom. Every hardship carries an opportunity for growth, even if we can't see it yet. You guys, there's a quote I love. Perspective doesn't erase pain. It gives pain a purpose. And I think that's exactly what faith does. Faith doesn't always remove the storm immediately. Sometimes faith helps us to see the storm differently. Instead of asking, why me? We begin asking, what is Allah teaching me? Instead of saying, my life is falling apart, we begin saying, maybe Allah is putting something together what I cannot see yet. So, if you are going through something difficult right now, let this be your reminder. You don't know the full story yet. The chapter you are in is not the final chapter. The delay is not the denial. The hardship is not the end. And the closed door might be protecting you from something that wasn't meant for you. Trust Allah. Keep making dua. Keep moving forward. And remember, sometimes changing your perspective doesn't change the situation, but it changes how you carry the situations. And that can make all the difference.